Yep, well, okay, here we go. Looks like it's getting started, so this is going to be awesome. We have who has just switched to Protoss at the last minute. Very interesting. Playing a Terran Retard. Going to be an amazing game. I have not seen who play Protoss, but from what I gather, he's amazing with whatever race he plays. So it is really going to come down to, I guess, just who knows their race better.
Very true. When you get up such a high level, players so very good, the littlest mistakes can mean the difference. I'm trying to think. Last Clan War we saw who played a very impressive Terran. It had to have been a Smurf. He was like 1800 Masters, something like that, and I was just playing Possessed or something, playing great, and who was actually taken out by some crazy Banshee harass, followed by a really, really strong Marauder tank push. So we'll see if Retard can repeat the Terran dominance over who, or if who will be able to bring it back, play a lot better this Clan War, and hopefully secure some points for Clan RH.
Indeed, we hope that we can draw first blood in this, but if the other team does, well, that's okay, because we will have our chance to come back. But looking at the map right now, we see our player who has spawned in the top right position. He is playing against Retard, the Terran, who is in the bottom left position. Looking like a very standard build coming out from both players so far.
Very, very true. I'm actually fixing my overlay, so we may be a little bit delayed on me actually talking about important stuff, but that is because I want it to look fancy for you guys. Boom, there we go, looking good. Got it up and running, perfect. So, back to the game, we see who dropping his pylon, pulling up that production tab so you guys know what is actually going on. Retard, very, very standard thus far, looking for that barracks, popping down right now. So, no cheese, no proxies, looking to play pretty standard for both these players. As far as the map positions go, GSL Crevasse is incredibly wide as far as maps are concerned. I mean, the rush distance is forever. I mean, just a really, really long way here.
It definitely looks that way. I'm looking at this. I'm not familiar with this map. However, I do see that there are a lot of expansion possibilities. I mean, you have a natural right inside your base. Your third natural is right there, very easy to take. Even have a smaller fourth natural with only 5 mineral patches, 1 gas. So it's definitely set up for a good macro game, so it's going to be interesting to see what style these players choose to play. If the Terran is going to go for a heavy one-base push, or if who is going to go for a quick tech, or go for a macro style. So it's going to be interesting. I think we're just going to have to let this play off.
Very true. Wonder what we see, and a simulator going down here for who at Retard's base. So gas steal obviously in the works. Assimilators have ridiculously high amounts of health for a refinery or a gas harvesting building. They actually have 400 more than a refinery or a extractor. So gas steal as Protoss even more effective than it normally is for the other two races if they were to decide to do it. But I don't feel like it gives quite as much scouting, because Terran, especially against Protoss, will try to go bio early. It tends to be very popular, so it's really not going to limit their tech as much as maybe against Zerg, where you want to get those tanks, you have to get that stim, stuff like that, because the pressure is on.
Yeah, that is very true. In fact, we actually see now that Retard is trying to take down that that assimilator. The gas steal from Protoss is actually one of the more annoying, but actually the most annoying can be Zerg with the way they can keep canceling and rebuilding the structure. Now, it does look like we're seeing a bunker go down for Retard, so that means he is trying to hold off some early pressure, so he's probably going to be going for a tech build, maybe a 1-1-1 into a quick expansion, so definitely looking like he's going to be playing a macro game. And in fact, we see the starport going down now. This is a 1-1-1 build.
Yep, so definitely bringing out all the Terran tech options is Retard. Going back to who's base, we see the Cybernetics Core. We're getting warp gates on the way, very, very standard. And here comes the Nexus. So getting a very early expansion, a 30 Nexus, I would say. So definitely very, very early at 5 minutes. Who feeling safe? He's got the watchtower, so we can definitely scout for any early pressure. And actually, a Hellion coming out here though could do some probe harass.
Yeah, but he actually sees that with that watchtower. Good placement by who. So he knows this Hellion is running around looking for him, so he's actually got this path blocked off. Very interesting with Destructible Rockster. That is a interesting add into this map, but this Hellion's not going to be able to do any damage whatsoever. And I believe that who decided to make that quick expansion based on the fact that he scouted this bunker and knew no early pressure is really going to be coming. Looks like a tech switch with the barracks now, going to be building a Marauder as well as another barracks. So not seeing expansion. Looks like we are going to be seeing some one base pressure because the second barracks is now coming down. And he's building a medevac, so it looks like he might be going for some drop play as Stem is researching. Very
possible. We see who going a robo before his second gateway. So I think, to be honest, he was looking for some Banshee play. A lot of times on this map, Banshees are very favored because it's hard to defend both your main and your natural. The Banshees can pop back and forth and really harass all those probes. So the Observer almost definitely coming out now. You're going to see real soon here, maybe, possibly. Hopping around everything.
We see two more gates going down at the natural, so it's looking like he's going very heavy gate play. It's going to be 5 gate robos as second base gets up and running. So if indeed we see some heavy one base pushing coming from Retard, it could be very easily beaten back by the sheer amount of units that who might have out. Definitely a macro build, but we do see a command center halfway done building for Retard. So he's going for a bit of a macro game, not going for a big heavy one base push, because against Protoss it's really not advisable to do, especially on a map this big a distance.
And actually we see who taking control of the Zelnaga watchtowers. One of those things that's very important, this map being so very large, he really will have some time to react if he does see a push coming. But Winterborn, I agree with you. There's a lot of gateways here for who. I think he does need to turn these. There we go, 2 into warp gates, right as I say it. But Retard Army really not looking super menacing right now. You know, not using the factory, stuff like that. He is very low on minerals because he did build all that production before he got this expansion up. So he's going to be a little bit behind who economically, but his army definitely feeling a little safer. We actually see a drop might be coming down here.
But I wonder, is who going to be here in time to scout it? No, he doesn't. He does not see the medevac moving out, but he is going to see a medevac in the base. Knows to expect drop play, but not when. So this drop might do some damage. However, notice that who does have pylons placed all over his base. He can warp in units wherever he needs to, and we see a robo bay going down, or robotics bay going down for him. So he's looking like he's going to go Colossi because he's expecting some heavy infantry pressure. Seeing the expansion done now, but this drop is moving. He's not even going to scout it with this probe that was going to come down here to put a pylon in this expansion. So this drop is probably going to kill some probes and do some damage. But like I say, he can warp in units almost all over the map. So let's see right now what happens.
And we see the drop coming in as we speak, doing the cute little drop trick. Actually, Retard not. Oh, there we go. We was not taking control. Going to snipe a few pylons. Who looking to respond with a fair amount of stalkers. He's really going to try to get that medevac, but I don't think it's going to happen. A little too speedy. So a good drop from Retard.
That's actually a very, very cost-effective drop for Retard. You see, he's lost only 1 unit this whole game, and right now, which I believe was either a Marauder or a medevac due to the fact it's 100 minerals. But we see that who has lost 6 for a total of 425 minerals, so that has set him back a little bit. He had to stop mining. He was supply blocked for a second. But, you know, all in all, not as damaging as it could have been. I see a medevac coming back again, flying around, going to be sniping pylons all over this map. Very smart play by Retard.
Very, very true. And I'd like you guys to note, the extended thermal lance is being now researched for who, so the Colossi will be super, super effective against all these bio units. And they are getting the +1 attack instead of armor, so they will be not quite as hardy as they could be. I feel like Terran do tend to favor the attack over the armor upgrades when they're playing against Protoss.
That is definitely true. In fact, the only time I see them really favor the armor upgrades is when they see a lot of heavy mech play come in, and they're expecting that to break a tank line, so they're bringing those Immortals. But who is actually coming, going to be able to stop this drop again? This drop is going to do very little to no damage whatsoever. In fact, looking like he's sniping the medevac. Oh, Retard is going to lose all of these units. Who has lost 1 Stalker and possibly 1 or 2 Zealous, but the drop gets shut down. Definitely a good intercept. But right now we do see this starport right now is mass-producing Vikings. He knows that the Colossi are going to be on the field. We see a lot of infantry right now. Looking at the army size, we see that they're pretty close in food, which is actually not that common. Usually the Protoss has a larger army by this point in the game, so who is going to have to do some magic here, I think, to be able to pull this off.
And we see who's securing his 3rd ahead of Retard. We actually see another drop loading up in Retard's base, so he's looking to do some drops, looking to do some harassment, but he needs to be careful not to lose these. I mean, who has so many pylons everywhere. If this drop does get spotted and does get shut down like the last one, it's just throwing away units. You gotta be really, really careful as Terran.
That is very true. We actually see that WhO is moving more towards his third, still keeping his units back and forth to react. However, he is going to see it with this pylon. I do believe, yes, he does see it. Watching this camera now, yep. He knows that there's drop play coming, so he's going to move some units to secure his third and secure this section over here. However, he is losing pylons, but I think he's accounted for that for the fact that he has 142 supply right now and only 123 of it's being used. So definitely look like this drop is not going to be doing that much damage.
Very, very true, my friend Winterborn. I'm seeing extended thermal lance now actually finished, more Colossi being produced, as well as the +1 armor upgrades for Protoss. And one of those things where Protoss does like their armor, it is actually very good against Terran because the Marines will do so much less damage with a Guardian Shield and a +1 armor. And I like this observer position for WhO, checking to see when that expansion does go down for Ritard.
Yeah, that's a very good position. Also noting, interestingly, we see a Stargate coming down and a robotics, or a robotics facility, if you excuse my stutter, coming down. So it's actually looking like he does know there's Vikings. He's going to be trying to counter those. He's also going to be mass producing Colossi and Robotech. So all in all, a very solid build. We actually see WhO looking like he's moving out, then decides to change his mind, pulls back just a little bit, because there is a drop going down in his base. Oh, wow. Going to be doing some damage.
Where is it? Oh, there it is.
Took down one pylon.
Ooh. And actually looks like that he did get one medevac, and the other one may be vulnerable. 3 stalkers trying to engage, and oh, one little Marine getting left behind and roasted. Poor little guy. Never had a chance.
Yeah, that is definitely painful to watch. However, we see 3 more gates coming down. I do not see a Templar Archive or something like that to research charge or blink, so it looks like he is just really, really putting stock in those in his Colossi. Now, actually, we see there could be a battle coming down right now. We see these armies moving out. Looking at the army count right now, WhO is ahead, but not by much. And it looks like it's going to be going down right now. WhO trying to get better position, but the Colossi are vulnerable. And in fact, we do see that Ritard is pulling back. Made him... Oh, nope, it's going in right now. Ritard is wisely falling back. He doesn't have enough Vikings to snap that many Colossi, so it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, and I feel like both players knowing this could be a very important engagement, being very, very careful. But the longer Ritard waits, the farther ahead who's going to get. I mean, all these gateways are starting to finish, and that's going to be a whole lot more gateway units being pumped out very, very soon if Ritard does wait. I mean, I don't think he really has the production. He has only 3 barracks all queued up almost to the max. So definitely could be a very costly battle if Ritard does not get a great position, and really just dancing back and forth at this point.
Did we see that a medevac was sniped by a Phoenix, but not before it dropped 4 troops, 3 Marines, and a Marauder. They're doing some damage by taking out a pylon. And now we see that WhO has been supply blocked once again at 182 supply. He's now down to 174. But his whole army is dying. However, it could have just been a diversion to pull him back from the middle. We see +1/+1 for the Terran players, so definitely looking like the battle might be coming. Matt, I'll let you commentate this because my graphics are freaked out again.
Good deal. And the Phoenix going down, actually scouting the position. Ritard leaving half of his army to fight could have been very, very costly, but luckily pulling back, WhO not really wanting to engage. There are a fair amount of Vikings here and Marauders, so the army will be pretty hardy, healthy, whatever you want to call it. Here's a big engagement going down. Colossi beams going everywhere. Lots of... I have no idea who's going to win. Force Field's going down, trying to split the army, and Colossi doing crazy damage, pretty much wiping Ritard's army with these Colossi. Definitely not looking good. All these Vikings doing tons and tons of damage, killing Colossus after Colossus, but Ritard is in a lot of trouble. More Colossi coming back, engaging the battle. Marauders trying to hold off. Absolutely no way. Terran army completely decimated, and Protoss has a plenty of Stalkers left, as well as 3 Colossi. Medevac's now vulnerable. This could be it. I really don't see Ritard having anything left to fight this. I mean, not enough production to continue battling, and I think there's a proxy pylon somewhere around here where more units can be warped in. There we go. WhO warping in some more units from his proxy pylon in a commanding position at this point. However, Ritard did secure his third with a planetary fortress.
Yeah, so that's going to be a little bit harder for WhO to break. However, the Colossi outranged the planetary fortress by quite a bit. Now we see him breaking down right now. He is almost right back up. Looking at the army values, he's at 140 to 115. It is very, very difficult to see how Ritard is going to be able to come back from this. There's just not much here to stop this.
And good game.
comes down.
There we go. So good game from who?